Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 8 of Heard You Like Me, and this chapter is titled Quirk Games. As promised by the fanfiction gods themselves, you had Quirk training. You had half of the class to work on upskilling, and then Aizawa had the super fun game organised for you all, teams of 2, hide and seek. Ugh, I should have slept less, you commented to Momo as she practiced making lots of dolls beside you, her quirk popping them out of her chest. How do you train your quirk? She asked you, looking at you while she continued to pump the dolls out. I guess I just practice pushing the parameters out, you said. Actually, I'll walk away and see at what point I stop hearing your inner thoughts, and then step beyond that and see if I can listen in. You said, Okay, go, she said with a smile, and you walked off, with her watching you go. She watched how you walked and a soft blush dusted her cheeks. She has a very confident walk. I like that, she thought, and you looked back over your shoulder with a smirk on your face. I heard that, baby, you said in a teasing voice. Thank you. Her blush deepened and she immediately stopped thinking. Your quirk was wonderful, but she had to be so careful at times, and since you'd been here with her, she had started to have some interesting feelings towards you, but she hadn't had time to process them or think about them for fear of you listening in. Can you still hear me? She asked you as you stopped a distance away, and you held a thumbs up. Move further back then, she instructed. You nodded and turned to walk further and then stopped again. Now? She asked in her mind, and you stepped even further. How about now? She asked, looking at you in the far distance. You just stood there, so she spoke again. Yin, can you hear me? She asked, and you didn't react. I wish I could think about you more. I don't know what I'm feeling right now, and I don't know how to process this, she thought, a little sadly. How do you feel about me? From your end, all you could hear was radio static in your brain with a few breakthrough words that you could make out. I don't know, feel me? Was all you could make out, and you shook your head and then started to walk back towards her. Did you hear me? She asked, a little fearfully, and you cocked your head at her. No, I just caught words, something like trouble processing something, and then did you ask if I could hear you? You asked. Oh, I was just saying random things, Momo lied, suddenly worried that her feelings might be found out. I think with my quirk, the easiest way to control it is through sleep. If I get less sleep, I'm able to hear much more, and I can't activate and deactivate or tune in or out as easily. It's just on all the time and attuned to everything. But if I get more sleep, it's more often off, which is a nice reprieve at times, you said. I see, she said with a smile, sweat dotting her forehead. You okay? You asked when you saw that she was really pushing herself. Yes, she said with heavy breaths. It's just a little intense, but I've made $110. That's a new record for me. Well done, you said with a suave smile as you reached over and used your fingers to wipe some of the sweat from her brow and then wipe it on your sports shirt. I can't have you looking ragged now, can we? You asked. Oh, she blushed. It's okay, I can handle this. She then used her quirk to make herself a hanky and wipe her face down with it. What a handy quirk, you commented, giving her a gentle look. She did her best not to look at you, since she was already feeling quite hot with the way that you were looking at her, and then she stood up and cleared her throat. It's almost time for the game. We should head back to the field, she said. Okay, babe, you said as you stood up and caught up beside her. Do you need to hold on to me? You're pretty tired. Oh, if it's okay, she said softly. Can I hold your arm? Yeah, you could have just taken it. You don't need to ask, you chuckled. Rip it off if you want. You can do anything to me. Momo blushed and looked away, falling very silent, and you looked down at her. Hey, are you okay? You're very quiet, you asked, trying to get her to look at you by ducking your head down a little. I'm fine. I'm just tired, she lied. She thought, and then stopped, but you heard her. You just what? You asked. I just need to sit down. I'm sorry, I'm feeling quite flat, she admitted. It was partially true. Yeah, fair enough. You did good work back there, you added. Okay, everyone, Aizawa called from the field. Come back. You and Momo were amongst the first to get to him and stood there arm in arm while the others came over and joined in too, all looking pretty tired after training their quirks. Yeah, he's done things this way to wear us down, you thought. Okay, I'll now break you into groups, he said, calling names of classmates and making them stand together. Yin and Jirou, he called, and you looked over at her and then let go of Momo. You gonna be okay? You asked her as you stepped away. She nodded. Just fine, she replied with a smile. Okay, keep that smile warm for me, he said with a smirk as he walked over to stand next to Jirou. Momo watched you go and clutched her heart, refusing to think what she wanted lest you hear her, but her face showed her emotions, and Mina was watching on curiously. Oh, how interesting, she thought. Hell has collected his best angels for the job, you commented to Jirou. We're a bit of a formidable team. They're not going to be able to move anywhere without us knowing where they are, she replied, and you high-fived her. I'll say, he replied with a smirk. Now, who are the lucky recipients? Aizawa called the next two classmates that would be versing you and Jirou, and the sadistic grins broke out on both your and her faces when you heard the names. Denki and Mineta, Aizawa called, and both boys sweat dropped. Oh, why couldn't we have been paired with Babe? Mineta whined, and you and Jirou stiffened. Look, I mean, it's kind of a good thing that they don't see us as babes, right? You commented to Jirou. Yeah, they probably mean Momo, Jirou thought, as she looked at them, and you nodded your head. Yeah, Momo's definitely a babe, you thought. Aizawa kept on calling out teams, then there was a small clench of worry when you saw Momo was paired with Mina, but your pink-skinned friend had promised that she wouldn't say anything, so you just had to trust her for now. And once everyone in the class had been called, you were all put into your 2 vs 2 teams, and the first lot was sent out into the arena, while the rest of the class was sent to the observation deck. The first up for hide and seek were met by one of the other teachers at UA, hero named Ectoplasm, and he held out a coin in his hand as they approached him on the field. The first team of 2 vs 2 were Bakugo and Hagakure versus Midoriya and Ida. Choose, he stated, heads or tails. He pointed to his hand, and Bakugo, one of the pair in the first round, piped up immediately. Heads, he said. Ectoplasm flipped the coin, and it landed on tails, much to Bakugo's chagrin, and he exploded in anger at losing the game while Midoriya, on the now winning team, tried to placate him. Okay, Ectoplasm said. Midoriya and Ida, what do you choose since you won? Be the hiders or seekers? Hide, please, Midoriya said timidly, and Ectoplasm nodded. Very well, he said. Bakugo and Hagakure will be the seekers. Oh, I would have been fantastic at hiding, Hagakure said emphatically, which made you chuckle from the observation room. She's not wrong, you said, and Jirou smirked. You watched the first round of hide-and-seek with curiosity and noted that Bakugo was out for blood. It didn't look like he was playing the game, it just looked like he wanted to fight. And fight mainly Midoriya. But aside from that, you picked up some good pointers. And then once their game was done, it was your and Jirou's turn, versing Denki and Mineta. What's up, Teach? You greeted Ectoplasm quite casually as you entered the arena, and he gave you a stiff nod. Everyone else walked up beside you and waited for Ectoplasm to speak again, and once they were all in line, he spoke. Heads or tails? He said, looking along the line. Tails, you said. He nodded and flipped the coin, caught it, and then placed it on his other hand with it still covered. He waited for a second before removing his hand, and you all looked at it. Tails, he said. You all thought that I was going to leave you on a cliffhanger. Hell, I am such a nice... I don't do cliffhangers. I don't know why... Yo, calm down. I know. I'm horrific when it comes to cliffhangers. But I put that in there so you know that it's Tails. And the good thing is, if you come back tomorrow, you'll get the next part then. So I'll see you then.